Hi, it's Tara Green bringing you the information about the new moon in Scorpio, which happens on November the 14th at 9:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, November the 15th at 12:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what this chart is set for. And at 5:07 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. All right, so what have we got happening here? All right, so we're right on the heels of Mars moving direct, and as this is a Scorpio new moon, you can see the sun and the moon there at 23 degrees, 17 minutes, there. Ruled by Mars. Okay, so Mars having just moved direct at the 15th degree of Libra, which is also the most powerful, 15th degree of Aries, also the most powerful. There's Mars right there. So it unleashes a fireball, a big explosion of energy held up, the energy that's been in kind of a passive-aggressive mode, so lots of anger, like a rush forth of energy, maybe hard to contain it. Probably had some arguments around your house today or with somebody in your family. And Scorpio's been, really keeping everything under wraps here. So a new moon is a time of new beginnings, so we need to sit tight on a new moon. The sun and the moon are together. The moon is invisible. It's the most feminine time of the month every month. And in Scorpio, this is a very feminine sign because Scorpio rules the reproductive organ. So this would very much have to do with, the time when the women gather in the Red Lodge, in the Red Tent, in the Moon Lodge to bleed together. It's a very sacred time to honor women's being at the height of their psychic energy. So if you're a woman and you're especially bleeding on this new moon, please retreat just like the moon for 3 days. It is not the time to be running around with a tampon in, proving you're a man. It's the total opposite of being in the feminine, out of whack with the universe. So please go within. The energy for everybody is to go within, to sit tight for the 3 days. Now, Juno, the feminine form of wisdom, she is also conjunct the new moon. There's her little glyph there. Looks like a little magic wand. I love Juno. We have Juno Awards in Canada, which is nice for actors and actresses, but she is Jupiter's wife, and Jupiter was also the masculine form of genius. She is the feminine form of genius. So this is the time when you really put on your thinking caps, which are very much attached to your deep, deep soul and your emotions. This is a very dark time of the year. We're going into the darkest time of the year right now. So definitely, pull your energy in wherever you're living in the world. Now, I know if you're in, of course, south of the equator, it's the opposite, right? Now, so as for the aspects, okay, Moon in Scorpio opposes Uranus. Where are we here? That was opposite Uranus and Taurus. Okay, so we can see that's a bit wide right now. That was earlier in the day. Moon in conjunct Mars and Aries again, so a little bit out of touch. This is for Saturday morning before the actual new moon, so earlier in the day, Moon and Mars out of touch. So again, a little bit out of kilter in the morning. The Sun sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. Now Pluto, as the modern ruler of Scorpio, then being touched or lit up by the Sun is a really nice aspect, really bringing that sense of evolution, transformation, death, rebirth, power, control, secrets. There's Pluto right there at 22 degrees at the magical 22nd degree, okay, with Jupiter right beside him. So we're still resonating with the Jupiter-Pluto, very, very powerful, the last of their 3 conjunctions on the 12th. That resonance is still in effect. So 22, 23 degrees. Eris, of course, the goddess, the uninvited goddess, the one who's righteously angry for her power not being respected, is also in this mix. She is squaring Jupiter and Pluto, and she really had a lot to do with the COVID-19 too. I don't think she's been given credit for that, for being the big disruptor. What else have we got here now? Moon trine Neptune earlier in the day, so it's a very spiritual, very good for intuition. There's Neptune there at 18 degrees. Pisces exactly trining Juno there, so a very good time for you to tune into your intuition, to meditate, to be creative, to make music, to make love, all of those things. But be careful, your judgment is not very clear at that point. Sun sextiles Jupiter. That's also very enriching, very empowering. The Sun at 23 degrees with the Moon sextiling Jupiter. Very positive energy coming in there. Very grounding. This is all very feminine, water and earth energy as well. And then the Moon sextiles Pluto. So back and forth, the Moon and the Sun are really doing it to those planets. Okay, moon sextiles Jupiter as well. And then finally, the new moon, which is only on the 14th in Pacific Standard Time there. So if you have planets at 23 degrees, 18 to 23, that's a 5-degree range there. Scorpio, you want to look at, do you have planets opposite in Taurus or planets squaring that in Aquarius or in, what am I doing here? We're squaring it in Leo, okay, over here. This is the symbol of Hygeia. I don't always use that one there, but there she is there. She's also squaring Juno and very widely squaring the sun and the moon. So we could be seeing, again, we know that the COVID-19 outbreaks are getting higher, unfortunately. Now, Venus is at 22 degrees of Libra. She is still opposite Mars and opposite Eris. So again, there's a lot of bones to pick. I would say she's trying to make some balance. She's still squaring, again, she's exactly squaring Pluto and Jupiter as well. So that's an aspect that's been going on. It comes in exact, actually, on the 23rd. But it's definitely part of this new moon as well. Now, Ceres, the Great Mother, she has just entered Pisces. She's at 0 degrees of Pisces. So she's bringing in a new energy, a new awareness, a new sense of compassion, forgiveness, being with our emotions, feeling our sense of oneness, okay? Lilith is also there at 2 degrees of Taurus conjunct Uranus. So again, there's this sense of women refusing to compromise, and they should not compromise. You should not give in. You should not sell yourself cheap. Mercury is also in Scorpio there at 5 degrees, Scorpio. And then the nodes. The south and the north nodes are also, I'm tongue-tied today, are also at that 21st, 22nd degree of Sagittarius. So the south node there, 21 degrees Sag. North node's not shown there, but it's the same thing, 21 degrees. Squaring anything else you have in Virgo or Pisces. And so Neptune is actually in that square. Neptune and Pisces, 18 degrees. So a lot of the planets are in those latter degrees. If you're wondering what this is up here, this is Sedna, the Inuit goddess of the oceans and all ocean life. She's in this chart, which is set for New York, actually. She is conjunct the midheaven, which has to do with a lot of, again, deep diving. Her story is very tragic. Her father betrayed her and kind of cut off her fingers, and she went to the bottom of the ocean, but she was transformed into the goddess of the sea, and she is the only real goddess that is worshipped by the Inuit people. And to appease her, the soldiers, sailors, indigenous people have to brush her beautiful hair. So there's something about self-love that is our job to repair the broken, the hurting, divine feminine. The divine feminine is not broken, but she's been hurt. And so we really need to nurture her through brushing her hair, combing her hair, listening to her, all of that, very, very important. So Chiron, 5 degrees of Aries there. So all of the other asteroids in early degrees, like Vesta at 8 degrees of Virgo, and Mercury at 5 degrees of Scorpio, and Ceres at 0 degrees of Pisces, all of those are in the early degrees. And so Vesta is the goddess of focus. Now she's in the sign of Virgo, so it's about focusing on your health, focusing on budgets, focusing on tightening your belt, focusing on being focused, actually, keeping the hearth flame burning. I know these are very, very intense times we're going through. I did a lot of prayers yesterday to Jupiter and to Pluto, calling them in, really praying for these higher master teachers, spiritual teachers that Jupiter represents to come in. Now also the goddess Athena, who I didn't mention, Athena is also in this mix there at 23 degrees. She is sextile also the moon and the sun there. So she and Saturn actually are together. Athena, who the goddess of war, she was remade into this patriarchal goddess. She's the only goddess in the Greek pantheon who was not born from a mother. So she's the absolute raped and, stolen energy by the patriarchy because she was born fully armed from Zeus's head. She is his brainchild. So, but that cannot be her true nature because everybody's born of woman. Everybody comes out of their mother's womb one way or the other. So we want to rematriate Athena back to her wisdom as a parthenogenic goddess, actually, and that's what the temple, the Acropolis, is to her, to honor her. She didn't need a man. That's why they wanted to make her into Zeus's brainchild, because she didn't need a man. She could just self-create. And all women have that power on some level or another. So we want to remember, and to remember in our bones, that Saturn, the ancient stories, Saturn was once also the great mother. Not that we're against men or the divine masculine, it's just that we need to bring back that balance. So Athena, Saturn, are squaring Venus. Again, so an opposite Eris there. So I would think that if you really sat with this energy, you would be able to put those pieces of the puzzle back together. Okay, so check out where the Sun and the Moon are in Scorpio and Juno. Very important there. That's the primary energy of the day, squaring Neptune. So what illusions, false news, hoax news are we buying into? I know, the powers that be are trying to separate everybody into these warring factions. You got to see the bigger picture and stay grounded. Okay, please subscribe to me on my channel here at YouTube. Please follow me on my blog at infinitynow.wordpress.com. I'm on my I'm on my webpage at terratarot.com. I'm on Twitter and on Instagram too. Many blessings.